guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about my first year uni experience. I have already tried to film this once and I was just so erratic and all over the place, so this time I'm going to try and be calm, cool and collected, because I know a lot of people are going to be starting uni in September, and when I was going to start uni I was looking up these types of videos on YouTube as well. And I just want to say before I get into this video that it is going to be completely unfiltered, there's going to be no sugarcoating. This is my completely honest experience at uni, and if you're going to go into uni, don't watch my video and get really worried and be like, oh, this is going to be the same for me, because everyone's experience is different and it can vary from university to university, from course to course. But I also want to make this video because I really think a lot of people might relate to me and be like, yeah, that's exactly what I went through, or that's exactly how I felt this year as well, and no one's really talking about it. So I'm first going to talk about just a bit of background, how I chose what uni to go to, how I chose my course and stuff. If you want to hear more about my A-levels in general, then I did do a whole video about A-levels and revision and exams and stuff, so I'll put that up here or I'll link it down below. I first chose the course I wanted to do, and if you watch my A-level video you would know that I did psychology, sociology, English lit and business, and I dropped business at A2. For a while I thought I wanted to do English lit because it opens so many different options for you. So I thought I could go into journalism, I could go into communications, I could do what my dad's doing. But in the end I just realised I don't enjoy English enough to do a whole degree of it, and so I decided not to do English and I picked psychology. So then I started looking into what unis were quite good for psychology, and I looked at like a whole chart of what unis are the best, and Exeter I think is just below Oxford. It's pretty high up. It was my first choice and luckily I got it. They told me that they wanted 3 A's from me and I exceeded that, so they accepted me, and I was so over the moon on results day. I just felt so proud of myself and I just felt so positive about the future. I'm going to talk about freshers, I'm going to talk about what it's like to live in halls, the social aspect of uni, the academic aspect of uni, and just like living away from home in general. It was just so daunting knowing that this is going to be a new chapter of my life, that I'm going to a new city which will be my new home that I'd never been to before apart from the uni open day. We got to my accommodation, you know, I had that typical anxiety of I'm taking so much, I hope I'm not the only person taking this much to uni. Don't worry, like take as much as you need, don't be embarrassed, like fill your car up to the brim, because that's what I did and a lot of people did that as well. And we started unpacking it and it was just like nerve-wracking because when I walked into my flat it was like there were already my flatmates there, so it was just like, oh my god, how do I act? Like I want to go and be nice to them and like introduce myself to them, make conversation, but at the same time I'm moving my life into this tiny room and I've got to unpack and stuff, so it was just like so much to take in at once, and I just had so much like built up emotions throughout the day that night I went out, not with my flatmates actually, I went out with my boyfriend and his flatmates. I just had a massive panic attack that night because all the emotions had just built up and it was just too much. So my moving in day, stressful, that night, even worse. Freshers week, I actually can't remember. I think it's such a blur to me because the whole week was so weird to me and I just had constantly high anxiety, and that's why when I look back I can't even remember how many nights of that week I went out, but I definitely didn't go out every single night. Getting drunk with people I didn't even know felt really weird, and I didn't get as drunk as I normally would get because, you know, if you get fucked, who's going to look after you? That's what I was scared of. Like back home, here, I have my 3 bestest friends in the world and I've been getting drunk with them for years and I trust them. I know they'd look after me, I would look after them. They're usually looking after me though. That being said, I still did meet quite a few people, but I have found that a lot of people who you meet in freshers you don't stay friends with, you just kind of meet them, say hi, add a bunch of people on Facebook, and then you literally never talk to them again. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about what it's like to live in halls. Living in halls wasn't that bad for me. I really didn't mind it, and I'm saying this as someone who was put in one of the worst accommodations in Exeter. Yep, that was just my luck. It wasn't actually on campus, so every single day I had a 15 to 20 minute uphill walk to uni. Other downside of the accommodation is that you don't have like a lounge kind of room, whereas in a lot of accommodations, most of them, you have a kitchen and then like a sitting area. With us, we just had the kitchen, so the kitchen was like the social area as well. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the social aspect of uni. The problem I had with it was that I just felt like it was so forced. I felt like people were just talking to other people for the sake of talking to other people. I've always been someone who'd like to keep myself in a small circle and just had a select few friends I'm really close with. My only friends were my flatmates, so the 4 other girls in my flat. I actually feel blessed that my flatmates were girls that I got on with, because if I wasn't friends with my flatmates, I'd be so lonely. Although saying that, I think I would have definitely made more of an effort to get to know other people if I knew I didn't have my flatmates. There are also societies you can join to make friends and just do something outside of your lectures. So the societies I joined were the Veggie Society, Vegetarian Vegan, Psychology Society, which I never went to a single thing, that was a waste of time, and Body Society, which is like loads of different classes and they're really cheap. It's like £1 or £2, and I really got into yoga this year, which I loved. Although I joined those societies, I didn't go to a lot of things because I just felt like I had so much going on when I didn't even really have that much going on. Like, it literally felt like every day it was hard to just live, like just to be by yourself. Suddenly you have to do everything for yourself. Your parents don't cook for you, clean for you, but suddenly everything changes. There's a whole new dynamic, routine to your life, and that was just like enough stress for me on its own. I definitely say that a lot of people meet others through societies, so definitely join societies, although I wouldn't join too much because you will find that you actually end up wasting a lot of money. Something else that I did was I joined a charity called Student Minds, and Mind specialises in eating disorders, and we had like a training weekend in Oxford, and basically it's like a safe space for people to come and talk about their eating disorder or eating difficulties, and we're not there to give advice, we're just there to listen and kind of facilitate a conversation. And I find that that's something really positive that's come out of my first year. That's actually something positive. I do want to quickly touch on anxiety. I'm not someone who has like diagnosed anxiety. I used to. I had CBT with CAMS.
Raise your hand if you've ever felt victimised by CAMS.
Anxiety will pop up in my life on and off, and it will be at times where I'm stressed, something's going on in my life, and then I feel I'm very susceptible to experiencing anxiety again, and uni was definitely something that triggered that. Definitely at the beginning of uni, like the first 3 or 4 months, I had very bad anxiety. I'd get panic attacks in the club. It wasn't bad enough that I felt like I needed to get help, because by now I've worked out this does happen at like stressful times of my life, or times of my life where there's big changes. So I was like, I'm just gonna get through this, and eventually I got a lot better and I just learned how to like manage it. It's just a really unnatural situation to be put in. Like in school, you walk into sixth form and like you know all the teachers personally, you know all the faces around your sixth form, at least I did anyway, and I didn't even have a particularly small sixth form. And then you go to uni and it's just like you know no one, and suddenly you feel this pressure to make friends and talk to people and get to know people, and that just doesn't come naturally to me. I don't like to force friendships. I like to just click with people that I naturally click with, because I feel like that way I make genuine friends who are gonna last. Like, I don't want friends in and out my life, fake people. I can't be dealing with that. So it was just a really weird environment for me to be in. As for the academic aspect, this is what hit me like a train. This is the aspect of uni which makes me look back and think, yeah, my first year was pretty bad. Having high hopes for uni, don't do it. I'm not saying have really low expectations and don't go in thinking uni's gonna be shit, because then it probably will be shit. But I feel like my expectations were just too high. I was told so many times, and other people were too, first year's a breeze. A-levels were actually harder than first year. First year's just about getting drunk. It doesn't count. it's so easy. Like, I had all these things in my mind that first year I wasn't going to have to worry about anything academic. All I'd have to worry about was making new friends and settling into a new city and, you know, getting used to this newfound independence. Your lecturers just expected you to know things, and they just expected you to be good at writing essays, and I literally had no idea how to write anything. Basically throughout the whole year it was really frustrating because I stayed stuck on the same grade pretty much every single essay, and I just didn't know how to improve it, and I just felt like they didn't teach us how to properly write a good psychology essay. I know they say it's because, you know, you can write in many different ways and still get a really good grade, so they don't want to like force us to write in one way, but I just felt like there wasn't enough help and support through the essay writing. And I always thought my essay writing was my strong part, because in coursework at A-levels I'd always get really high grades, and that was actually what helped me through exams, was because I had those really good essay marks to fall back on. But I felt like in uni it was completely flipped. I did better on most of my exams than my essay. I also feel like I changed as a person during uni. I used to be such a hardworking person in A-level, and I just feel like that person's long gone, which really scares me, because going into first year I thought that was what was going to get me through it. But then I got to uni, and I feel like the reason why I wasn't motivated and I wasn't working as hard, I wasn't as organized, was because my expectations just crashed and burned around me. So I was like, fuck this. Like, I came into uni thinking I wasn't gonna work very hard because I didn't need to, so I'm not gonna. I don't care if they're expecting me to do well. I don't care if I'm having so many essays thrown in my face. Also, with the academic aspect of uni, it's like you have this constant feeling that everyone else knows what they're doing and everyone else is doing well, and you're just here like a fish out of water, like, what the fuck is going on? I've literally never felt so lost in my life. I'd be sitting in lectures and I'd see people have their laptops open in front of them, and they'd be like scrolling through an essay due for the next month, and I was like, what? Like, I haven't even thought about that essay, I haven't even planned that essay, and I'm seeing people in front of me already written it, scrolling through it, editing it. The other thing about the academic aspect is, I've already touched on this, it's so impersonal. Like, none of your lecturers know your name, none of your lecturers care about you. Your personal tutor, who the fuck are they? I think I am going to get to know them better in second year, because now that things count, I am scared, and I'm going to be knocking on his door every week, like crying, like, please help me write a good essay. But in first year, you don't really see your personal tutor much, and I literally felt like I could drop dead and no one would find out for 2 weeks, because none of your teachers, lecturers, personal tutors, whoever the fuck care about you. No one knows about you. You have to do everything for yourself all of a sudden. And in school you would get so much support writing essays and coursework. Like, you'd get feedback throughout it. You know, you'd send in 2 drafts, usually 2 or 3 drafts, to your teacher, and they'd give you feedback, and then you'd produce a final piece. With your essays at uni, no, you get nothing. You can email them, but it's all down to you. Your lecturer does not make any effort with you. So it was just so new to me, and I was like, holy shit, like, I'm doing this all by myself. I think definitely next year I'm going to be less scared to ask for help. I'm going to be seeing my personal tutor more, and definitely emailing my lecturers more. And then I want to talk about being away from home. There are just so many things that you don't realize your parents do for you until you're all by yourself, and it was just so hard, literally doing everything for yourself. It just made life boring, like thinking about your next meal all the time. All in all, like, first year wasn't that great. Everyone makes out like uni's so fun, especially first year. First year's so fun, first year's just about getting drunk, first year doesn't count. And I was like,
why is it so fucking hard then?
What really sucks is feeling like everyone else is enjoying it but you. So, like, a lot of people, like, when you broke up for Christmas, Easter, my flatmates would message me like, oh, when are you coming back and stuff. And for me, I was like, the more time I can spend at home, the better. But so many people were going back as early as they could, and like after exams, people would stay at uni for like 2 weeks after to like go out and have fun and stuff. Exams are over, but I was like, the sooner I can get out of this hellhole, the better. After exams, I went home literally the next day because I was like, get me the fuck out of here. And like my future thoughts for second year, I am absolutely dreading it, and I'm already getting like nervous thinking about it. Like it's keeping me up at night. First year was supposed to be the easy year, and I found it so challenging. How am I gonna go through second year? 70% of the time I'm thinking that, and then like 30% of the time I'll be like, no, let's be really positive. This is a fresh start. I'm already used to living in Exeter, so I don't have that struggle. I'm used to managing my money and being independent now, so I don't have that struggle. And so I'm just trying really hard to be positive. What I will say about anyone worrying or like, oh, I've had the same experience as you, I think the thing is, I'm not gonna look back in third year and be like, oh, I wish I worked harder in first year, because first year is kind of like the practice run, getting used to everything, getting used to being a lot more independent. I think a lot more people look back at first year and be like, I wish I did more extracurricular things while I had the time. But also be prepared for it to be hard, because that's really what I wasn't prepared with, and that hit me like a train. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope you found it useful and an insight into what my first year experience was like. In my videos, I like to be positive and put out positive energy, but I'm just being completely real and honest, and I still have kind of a positive outlook because I'm really hoping it's going to get better. If you have any other questions about uni or first year, I had so many questions like, what the hell do I take to uni and stuff like that. Leave them down in the comments below, and if you have any questions specific to Exeter, specific to psychology at Exeter, then don't hesitate to leave me a comment down below, because I'll try my best to answer any questions. Make sure to give me a thumbs up before you leave, and if you're new to my channel, then don't forget to subscribe. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.